When it comes to designing children's books or kid-focused graphics, the right font makes a huge difference. I've gone through a lot of options and shortlisted 8 fonts that you can confidently use for book covers, story pages, posters, worksheets, or any playful kid design. They all bring something different to the table, and all the links for these fonts are listed in the description as well as in the first comment if you want to check them out yourself. The first one is Little Kidsy. What I really appreciate about Little Kidsy is how it captures that genuine handwritten charm without feeling sloppy or messy. The letters have a natural wobble to them, like they were written quickly with a felt-tip pen, and that gives the whole font a lovable, human touch. I find that really important for children's books, because kids connect with anything that feels personal or familiar. The outline style is great for adding variety on chapter pages or playful backdrops, and the regular version works well for titles that need to feel warm but not overly stylized. Even when used in larger sizes, the font keeps its softness, which helps it blend with illustrations instead of overpowering them. It is one of those typefaces that simply makes a page feel friendlier the moment you place it. Next is Laughter, and this one is a completely different experience. I love how bold and chunky it is, because it has this fantastic presence on the page without ever feeling aggressive. The softened serifs give it a classic look, but the proportions make it modern and energetic. When I have a cover or chapter title that really needs to jump out, Laughter is one of the first fonts I consider. It has that upbeat, confident tone that just works so well for kids' material. Even in single-color designs, it still feels lively, and when paired with colorful illustrations, it becomes even more expressive. It is also one of those fonts that works great in branding for kids' events, school fairs, camp flyers, or anywhere you want bold type that still feels kind-hearted. It has a real personality. Kids Bunny takes the mood back to soft and playful. What I like here is the smooth, rounded structure of the letters. Nothing feels sharp or stiff. Everything has this gentle flow that makes the text feel almost cuddly. It is perfect for stories that involve animals, bedtime themes, friendship narratives, or anything that leans towards sweetness rather than high energy. The friendly shapes also make it approachable for very young readers who are still developing comfort with letters. I've used it in worksheets, flashcards, and even toy packaging, and it always fits naturally because of its warmth. It is the kind of font that makes you smile without calling too much attention to itself. It fits the cozy, soft-spoken side of children's design beautifully. Kids Place is the font I reach for when I want something fun, but with a very distinct visual identity. The internal stripe detail inside every letter gives it this illustrated quality that you do not see often. It looks like each character has been outlined and then decorated with a second line, almost like a doodle you would find in a playful sketchbook. Because of that, it feels incredibly energetic, and kids tend to respond to that kind of visual rhythm. It works especially well for anything tied to playgrounds, discovery centers, summer programs, craft activities, or storytelling that's more cartoon-driven. The style stands out enough that you can put it on a bright background, and it still reads clearly. It is one of the most charming and distinctive fonts on this list simply because it looks alive. Pocket Money is a personal favorite for more practical educational designs. It has the casual handwriting feel, but the thickness of the strokes gives it structure and readability that holds up even at smaller sizes. When I am making something like a school worksheet, a poster, or an instructional graphic for kids, this kind of consistency is incredibly helpful. It has just enough personality to keep kids interested without taking away from the content itself. The slightly tilted characters give it motion, and that keeps things from feeling dull or institutional. It is a great choice if you want a clean, modern look that still carries a friendly tone. Play Factory pushes us back into the bold, adventurous category. The type has such a strong silhouette that it almost feels like part of a video game title screen. The chunky forms and slight irregularities give it an animated feel, as if the letters could bounce or stretch at any moment. It is perfect for game-themed books, adventure stories, science exhibitions for kids, or anything involving action and excitement. One thing I really appreciate is how it maintains readability while still being so visually heavy. It stands out on busy backgrounds, which is great for covers that have lots of illustration elements. If you want your title to feel energetic and dynamic, this font really delivers that sense of motion and fun. Denkosaurus is another one that carries a lot of weight visually, but its personality is more cartoonish and playful. The big rounded blocks make the letters almost resemble soft foam toys or building blocks. The unique cutout shapes inside the characters add this delightful sculpted effect that instantly makes the font feel animated. Kids love anything that looks like a character or object, and this font taps into that with ease. It works beautifully for dinosaur themes, jungle adventures, or prehistoric storylines. But I've also used it for birthday materials, playful posters, and even brand logos aimed at young kids. Anywhere you want a big, expressive type with lots of charm, Denkosaurus fits perfectly. And finally, Warai is the most expressive and artistic of all the fonts here. I love how it incorporates that hand-colored, crayon-like texture inside each letter. It feels like a child actually sat down and colored each character themselves. That instantly sets a creative mood that is perfect for art-based stories, coloring books, preschool materials, and anything involving imagination or hands-on activities. The thick black outline keeps everything readable even with all the texture inside. If you work with bright palettes, this font absolutely comes alive. All of these fonts bring something unique to children's design. They each capture a different emotional tone, from soft and gentle to bold and adventurous to artistic and expressive. And again, if you want to try any of them yourself, all the links are waiting for you in the description and in the first comment. If you found it helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.